Good evening, SICW wrestling fans. Welcome to another SICW Sunday Night Update. I'm here with promoter Herb Simmons, and as promised last week, Herb, we are here to recap 2021. But I guess first I should say Happy New Year.
Happy New Year's to everybody, all of our followers out there. And yes, 2021 was a great year. Had a lot going on for SICW fans, and we thought we'd take time and just kind of recap that. It's always good to go back and revisit some of those memories that we had.
A lot going on, but in a short amount of time. As everybody remembers, due to the pandemic, SICW didn't return to action until July 24th, when you had the fan-free night there at the East Carondelet Community Center.
Exactly, and what a great night that was. The wife and I thought that it was a good way to welcome us back into the squared circle, as they say, and I know a lot of the fans appreciated that, and they came out and showed the support. So, yeah, half of a year worth of work, but boy, it was a busy half of the year.
It was a year's worth of work in a half a year, but let me tell you, it was a great night, and we carried right on there Sunday, July 25th. We conducted the first TV taping for what has become a very promising episodes of the SICW All-Star Wrestling.
Yeah, it's amazing the amount of text messages and calls I get about people wanting to know or commenting on the Sunday night show. And the good thing is, if they're busy, they're tied up with their families or whatever they're doing, they can always come back and watch it. But they look forward to that Sunday night episode and each and every week following right along with what SICW has got going on currently and what we're going on into the future.
Absolutely, and every month we're coming up with new innovative ways to get that message out to the fans. They can watch it on Facebook, they can watch it on YouTube, and some other interesting things coming out here in the very near future.
In the very near future, right after the first of the year, we'll be announcing a couple of more platforms they can watch it on. So they're going to have a wide variety of what they can catch SICW All-Star Wrestling on.
Absolutely. Now for a somber moment that happened early in the return this year, the passing of a good friend of yours, USA Championship Wrestling promoter Bert Prentice.
Great friend for many, many years, almost 50 years, USA Championship owner, operator, floor sweeper, you name it, Bert Prentice did it all. There was nobody like our late great friend Bert Prentice. It was a shock to the wrestling industry. He was a pillar in the business. Was known by everybody. Some people may not agree with him, kind of like us. They don't always agree with us, but Bert was the one that went out there and did it his way. He did it what he thought was the right way, and God rest his soul. I feel him with us every day when we're talking about wrestling, and his sister had a chore to do there after he passed away, and she got it done. And but I miss Bert every day.
Absolutely. A great man, great friend, and definitely somebody sorely missed. As the year continued, August 21st, we went back to the East Carondelet Community Center, and we saw the return of Flash Flanagan.
Flash Flanagan, you know, I've said it for many, many years now. Every locker room needs Flash Flanagan in it because that man comes with a vengeance, and right now he's on a mission, as we know he has been against the TCO. I'm really honored to have a Flash Flanagan in my locker room. He brings so much experience, credibility, and plus he's also not going to rest until he rids SICW of that TCO.
Well, and that was going to be my next question. 2022, this has got to come to an end. Who's it going to be? Is it going to be Flash Flanagan, or is it going to be Travis Cook? Because I don't know that Flash so much has a problem with the other members of the TCO. He just wants to get to their leader.
Well, and we know why. You know, he put Travis Cook put his hands on Flash's wife, and he's not going to forget that. And so, like I said, if I was Travis, I'd be sleeping with one eye open. And but 2022, I think, is going to be the straw that breaks the camel's back as far as Travis Cook and Flash Flanagan.
Well, I have my hopes on how that will turn out.
I bet you do.
I guess we all just got to wait and see. Something else happened interesting here in August 28th, 29th of this past year. We saw the NWA return to St. Louis, hosting a 4-night event at the Chase Park Plaza, where Wrestling at the Chase was from.
What a great moment that was, the NWA 73, as they were calling it. I was fortunate enough to be there with our good friend Ed Wheatley with the Wrestling at the Chase new book. My hat goes off to William Corrigan, the owner of the NWA, for bringing that in, putting that event on. And I think that you're going to see more out of the NWA here in the St. Louis marketing area as we move forward. I've been in contact with Mr. Corrigan numerous times since then. The NWA, National Wrestling Alliance, was what St. Louis knew for many, many years under the guidance and the tutelage of the late, great Sam Muchnick and Larry Matisek. So for Mr. Corrigan to keep that NWA titles out there going, I was honored to be part of that whole deal.
Absolutely. It was a great time. And you talk about the Wrestling at the Chase book and our good friend Ed Wheatley. That's been a busy half of this last year, getting that book out, different book signings, different events, but keeping that history and that knowledge of Wrestling at the Chase alive, those four great words.
Well, and that's the thing. I mean, it's really been funny. Some people that got that book over the holidays. One individual said his wife had got him a new Apple Watch and the Wrestling at the Chase book, and he's more happy with the Wrestling at the Chase book. And so I told him, I said, well, you better keep peace at home. Happy wife, happy life. But he was just really commenting on, a lot of people have, about the way the book was put together, the quality of the book, the knowledge, the history of that book is great. And, bigger and better things to come about the Wrestling at the Chase, those four little words.
Well, let's talk about the event where that printed copy of that book made its debut, and that was the Missouri Athletic Club. What a show.
What a show, what a historical night that was. It had that Wrestling at the Chase atmosphere in that big, beautiful ballroom, the camera shots from the balcony, people dressed in their suits and ties and gowns. It was just a great night. The locker room enjoyed every match, was top-notch. The MAC board of directors were happy with it. You were there, and for those that were, I mean, that's a night that's going to go down in history as one of the better nights of SICW.
Well, and we had a great wrestling legend with us there that night in the likes of the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase.
$1 Million Man, and if you remember, he was a last-minute dad end, but I got to give Ted DiBiase all the credit in the world. One phone call, and he said, Herb, I'll be there. And he came in and did a great job. The fans loved him. I stood upstairs while the VIP sponsors took photographs with him. And, I mean, it was just group after group after group standing there asking him questions, telling stories. And Ted's just a top-notch guy. And it's always good to know that SICW can call upon him when they need him.
Absolutely. It was a great event. It was an action-packed night. People would have loved to be there. It was definitely a sold-out event. But now we're going to take a few moments and let you take a little look at some of the footage that occurred that night inside the Missouri Athletic Club. So let's take a look. Herb, and that was some great wrestling footage there that night. I mean, just that atmosphere, the tables, the chairs, the tablecloths, the plated meal,
everything. And it was a private event for the club membership only, and frankly so. They were talking about that night that there were still some of their members that had procrastinated, didn't get tickets in time, were still trying to get in there that night. But the good news is they're going to want to do it again.
Say, rumor has it they might want to repeat that event in
Yes.
2022, so definitely stay tuned for more on that. And no sooner did you get the ring packed up and everything, you drove from Missouri Athletic Club and headed right over to the Swansea Firehouse, year number 8.
8 years in a row, the great men and women of the Swansea Fire Department has had SICW come in there and help them with their annual fundraiser, and it's always a great time. Great fans there at the Swansea, Illinois area and throughout Belleville and O'Fallon. Wrestling fans came out, and this was another great night. Two Cold Scorpio in action there. We've always managed to try to bring a legend in there, or sometimes a couple of legends. It all depends. But I can't say enough about the Swansea Fire Department. 8 years going back, I think that kind of says they're happy with the product of SICW, and we're just lucky to be able to make that tag team.
Absolutely. And Herb, we talk about wars coming to an end and settles being scored. Something happened that night in the Swansea Firehouse, but when the very popular Jason Breed was able to demonstrate to all of us who the War Machine really was, the unmasking of the War Machine, only to find out it was Attila Khan.
Well, and that War Machine, along with the Travis Cook, had been running rampant over everybody for several months. And Jason Breed, with what he went out there and did at Swansea Fire Department there, kind of did the unmasking, showed who it was. And boy, I'll tell you what, Jason Breed has been in this business a long time. So has the War Machine. We've seen what he's done, and we have not heard the last of them two, I can tell you.
Now, we're going to get into talking about more to come with those two, because that's another one of those settles that's going to come to blows here real soon. But October was a very busy month for SICW. 5 shows that month, great activity, and we ended that month with the show of the year, the SICW Halloween Spooktacular at the Belle Claire Fairgrounds.
What a great night. Under one roof to have that many legends, a 2-ring battle royal. I think it was 11 legends, if I'm not mistaken.
It was 11 legends.
I mean, Greg Valentine, Sergeant Slaughter, Jerry Lawler, Dr. D. David Schultz, the Rock and Roll Express, Haku. And I know I'm missing
Demolition,
Action Smash was there.
Greg the Hammer Valentine.
But all of them in one building under one roof, capacity crowd. And like I said, it was a great night. People came from all over.
Well, as you see here in this picture we're showing, the crowd was just amazing that night. They were energetic. They were involved. It was a night to remember.
A night to remember, and that's what it's all about, making these memories for all of us that we can relive later on and say, remember when we were at the Halloween Spooktacular in 2021.
Absolutely. And Herb, you talk about making memories. Towards the end of the year, December 1st, we got to head over to Missouri for a very special show with the St. Louis Sports Hall of Fame.
St. Louis Sports Hall of Fame, great organization and great cause. They inducted 3 of my great late friends to the St. Louis Sports Hall of Fame, none other than Sam Muchnick, the former president of the National Wrestling Alliance, who we talked about a little while ago, my great friend Larry Matisek, and then Mickey, Gary, Joel, all got inducted that night in. And not only was that could have been a night of its own right there, because their families were there. Pat Matisek, Kathy Muchnick, Dan, the Muchnick family, the Koppler family was there. But then we had one of the legends, Jerry Briscoe, one of the all-time greats, join us that night. Ron Powers, one of the former SICW champions, the ace, Cowboy Bob Orton Jr. But then we had the NWA title, the National Wrestling Alliance, thanks to Mr. William Corrigan and to the champion Trevor Murdoch. That title was defended that night there against Attila Khan. I'm sure that Travis has still got soured milk over that.
Well, let's all take a moment together and look at a little bit of that action from the Sports Hall of Fame show and see just how that turned out for Travis when Attila Khan went for that title against the NWA champion Trevor Murdoch. Herb, we got to see Attila lose, which is something that doesn't happen very often.
Doesn't happen too often, but Trevor Murdoch, what a great champion, NWA, defending that title all over. That was his first title defense since winning it at the Wrestling at the Chase when the NWA came back there. So we were honored to have that first title defense right here at SICW.
You talk about the busy 6 months SICW had. You were at NWA 73, August 28th, August 29th, for him to win it. And then the first place he comes to defend it is SICW.
Yep, very honored to do that. I'm so happy for Trevor Murdoch, and we were honored to be part of that great event.
Absolutely. It was a great year for SICW. 2021 was fantastic and ended on kind of a strange note. We've seen this battle going on between Jason Breed and Attila Khan, and it's going to come to head January 15th when SICW Wrestling returns to the East Grand Elect Community Center. But first, let's take a little look at the footage from how it ended in 2021 between Jason Breed and the SICW champion Attila Khan.
Gold coins are pennies. Hey, whoa! Hey! Oh, he just nailed Jason Breed right in the face with those pennies. Come on, guys. Casa and Khan just...
La 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 la. Deck the Breed with all your molly. La 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 la.
Yeah, more like bah humbug. Well, come on. Jason was just talking about how he's riding a high. Now the Travis Cook and his organization brought that crashing right down, didn't he? Well, that's absolutely disgusting. Jason Breed's going to need some help. Ladies and gentlemen, we got to get out of here. Let's go to some pre-recorded interviews right now. Ring the bell, they're both fighting over the challenge. Attila Khan attacking Jason Breed. You wonder if this was the setup all along. Travis Cook, he just handed him something. Is it the spike? Is it a fork? Oh, Jason Breed defending himself with Bam Bam. Jason Breed's got Frankie D's chair. Attila Khan has, I think, the spike that was given to Travis by Kevin Sullivan.
That's exactly it.
It's a face-off between these two men, neither man backing down. I don't think, oh, you hear Travis Cook. He's saying, not now, not now. January 15th, he is pulling his man from the battle. Well, he would say it's to live another day. Jason Breed not backing down. Well, I think the official result was there was a double disqualification. I think the ref just threw this out once the chair got involved. Jason Breed and Attila Khan, that's going to be our Classic Wrestling Championship match in East Carondelet on January the 15th. Fans, you don't want to miss this. Nobody stood up to Attila Khan like this. Are we looking at the new champion staring down the current champion? Find out January 15th in East Carondelet.
For free people on television, you're mistaken. No, you gotta buy a ticket to watch that. No, Attila Khan can whip him right now, but we're gonna wait for January the 15th.
You heard it, folks. That match is a can't miss.
Herb, Attila attacks Santa Claus.
Well, shame on him. And I had several of the fans text me and tell me that. But that's Attila Khan, the international bounty hunter. And then when you throw the likes of the Travis Cook in there, you know, I don't think he believes in anybody but himself. But you see Jason Breed, and you got to keep in mind, Jason Breed has one victory over Attila Khan already.
He has a pinfall.
He has a pinfall over Attila Khan, but it's going to come to a head on January the 15th right there at the East Carondelet Community Center. What a way to kick off 2022.
Absolutely going to be a great kickoff to 2022. Another big match announced for that night is Danny Dollar against the 450
plus
something pound
and
Kowalski.
Now he's putting that money up for that body slam challenge all the time. But, you know, him and Danny Dollar, popular young individuals, been here a couple of times, coming back. They left here on a sour note, and he said, you know, I want my shot back at that big guy. So that's going to be the second.
If you remember, he had him up.
If
it wasn't for Rough Cut Rick Ruby helping take him down.
Exactly. So, yeah, Danny Dollar gets his shot at the man they call Kowalski on January the 15th for that second main event.
Absolutely. And then quickly thereafter, January 20th, SICW going on the road for another one of the Wrestling at the Chase book events at the Missouri History Museum.
Yeah, we'll be joining Ed Wheatley again, promoting the Wrestling at the Chase book at the History Museum in Forest Park. That's on a Thursday night. It's a free event. Right there in the theater. So come on over, listen to Eddie Wheatley talk about the Wrestling at the Chase book. Some of the wrestlers will be there. You can talk with them and relive those memories as you sit there in that beautiful theater at the History Museum in Forest Park on Thursday, January the 20th. Starts about 5:30 in the evening. We'll have the St. Louis Wrestling Hall of Fame set up in the big rotunda area they have there. So you can come over and take a look at that, take some pictures of all the legends that we've inducted into that St. Louis Wrestling Hall of Fame.
Definitely going to be a good night. And Herb, one more event early in 2022 that we want to talk about. We've talked about it a little bit now in our previous shows. But Saturday, February 5th, returning to the Belle Claire Fairgrounds.
Big event, probably the most important event of 2022 that we're putting together, SICW. All of the SICW staff are donating their time. It's a fundraiser for a great individual, Chief Al LaPointe of the French Village Fire Department. And he is having some major medical issues, and the first responders are coming together to support him and his family, and we're going to do it right there on February the 5th at the Belle Claire Fairgrounds. Not only is it going to be a huge SICW wrestling event, there's going to be a fire apparatus display, fire equipment from all the departments. Hopefully, are going to show up to be on display there. But what a night that's going to be, Brian. I mean, Chief LaPointe, the chief here, plus the battalion chief over in Missouri. So we're getting help from both sides of the river. So I beg you to come out and support this great cause on February 5th, Saturday night at the Belle Claire Fairgrounds.
Absolutely.
Why don't you tell them how they can get the tickets?
Going to be a great time. Tickets are available right now on SICW.org. Go there. You have tickets available. There's sponsorships available. The ability to add to a program book that's going to be there that night. So don't miss your opportunity to help one of our great dedicated first responders here as we do a tribute show that night for Fire Chief Al LaPointe. Definitely going to be a great night. February 5th when we return to the Belle Claire Fairgrounds in Belleville. And Herb, 2021, going out with a bang, starting 22 off well.
It's going to be a big year. Like I said, a couple announcements will be coming out shortly on a couple more platforms for our Sunday night show to be viewed on. And we appreciate each and every one of you fans that come out to our shows. And I know there's a lot of you that follow this program every Sunday night. Peggy and Larry and John and Karen and Robert. And I can sit here and name them. The list goes on and on and on.
Let's talk as we wrap up here about an SICW superfan. The person you wanted to dedicate this year to, the person that you wanted to dedicate tonight's episode to, a great friend of yours and one that we lost far too soon, Jerry Bullion.
One of my all-time school friends. We went to school together. Jerry is missed each and every day. He has a seat at every match that we do with his name on it because he was a fan and his family for over 40-plus years. And we lost him this year to COVID. I talked to him every day while he was in the hospital. I miss him every day. Gone way too soon. When you talk about a super fan, Jerry Bullion was that super fan. Him, his mother, parents, brothers, siblings used to all come to all the matches back at the old Assumption High School, at the Belle Claire Fairgrounds, whether we were at DuPont High School, whether we were at Collinsville High School, wherever we were at. Jerry was a fixture there, and I wanted to dedicate this entire 2021 to my late great friend, Jerry Bullion.
So there you have it, fans. 2021's a wrap. 2022, we're hitting the ground rolling. Lots of big things to come, and the best way for you to find out is to join us here every Sunday night at 8 p.m. for SICW's Sunday Night Update and All-Star Wrestling. We will see you next Sunday night.